Hi everyone, welcome to the Glow with Purpose hair channel. Today I am going to talk about a hairstyle or a protective style that I will always do with my hair. And that hairstyle, if you can't already take a guess what it is jumbo braids. I currently have it now. I will always do jumbo braids on my hair. When I discovered jumbo braids, I fell in love. Now, I will give the disclaimer and say that when I discovered jumbo braids, my hair had already grown to around bra strap length. So I already had, and bra strap length is like here. So I already had enough hair, and I don't mean this part, I mean the back of my hair reaching my bra, because at that time, this portion was only reaching like here. So I had enough length to even do that style to begin with. So how did I discover jumbo braids? Well, I was on a long journey of mini braids and mini twists. I loved styling my mini braids and mini twists. Honestly, I loved styling my mini twist because mini twists were so versatile. At that point, I had like full set of hair on my scalp. I was braiding it, I was styling it this way, that way. It was just amazing. And then I discovered you should be washing your hair more often, because prior to that, I was washing my hair at most once a month. So you should be washing your hair often. And I heard people saying once a week, once every 2 weeks. So I decided that I too wanted to try it. And I started washing my hair once a week, once every 2 weeks. And that was the worst decision I ever made for my hair. I'm not talking about my scalp, I'm talking about my hair. Coupled with a lot of like manipulation that I was doing with my hair thinned out. It thinned out badly, and I will try as much as I can to insert a picture or a video of what my hair had looked like. I'll probably put a picture before and a picture like after, when I was like washing my hair like once a week. It wasn't the washing my hair once a week, but it was the fact that my hair in mini twist and mini braids didn't really enjoy that whole washing your hair once a week thing. My hair matted, it was tangled, and I pulled out a lot of hair whenever I had to take my hair down. So I was just not retaining length. I mean, I still had my length, bra strap length, but I was not retaining any more length, and my density was just nowhere to be found. It was thinned out. I probably considered myself fine strand, low density girl at that time. I genuinely really did not have barely any hair on my scalp, and I thought that was normal. I was going about my business, but I'll go through my snap at that time and see various videos of my hair, and I saw that at some point in time I genuinely had a lot of hair. So what happened to it? It wasn't until I was on YouTube trying to figure out various ways I could grow my hair. I prayed to God as well, and God and all the knowledge he blessed me with was able to direct me to one person's video. This person shared that the mini twists and mini braids, this was way before mini twists and mini braids became like a hype. I started doing mini twists and mini braids immediately when I went natural. So this was way before it became the hype. When I was doing my mini braids and mini twists, when mini braids and mini twists became a hype, I had already transitioned over to my jumbo braids. So I wanted to give that disclaimer there. It was way before that. But someone came in and was like, my hair cannot stand being in more than 20 braids. She came in and she shared that her hair has to be clumped together in big sections. If she tries to do more than 20 braids or 20 twists on her hair, it is going to be a recipe for disaster. She said that she can have all the time in the world to detangle her hair after she has put it in mini twists or mini braids, or even medium twists or mini braids, and she will end up pulling out a lot more hair. Even after spending the whole day approaching it after every few hours to detangle it, she still ended up losing a lot more hair. Even if she left it in for just 1 week, she's still going to end up losing a lot more hair. So I dwelled on it and I analyzed it, and I'm like, could this be the case for my hair? But honestly, I didn't do anything with it. I heard it and I was like, okay, let me start for when I need it, because I couldn't imagine wearing mini braids and wearing my hair like this. I genuinely could not imagine it. Now I have a lot of length to my hair and I have something at the back. So now it's not a big deal. But when I first started, it was a big deal because it was coming down here and I was not even wearing it this time. I always tied it back. But So I stored it and never really thought much of it. I just left it in that position. And then I was like, I need to moisturize my hair because I'm like, my hair is very dry. Learning that I have extraordinarily high porosity hair. My hair is very high, like it dries quickly. It needs moisture all the time. Learning that I had that, I realized that I could not go more than 1 or 2 days without moisturizing my hair. Like sometimes I needed to moisturize my hair twice in a day, sometimes 3 times. That's how dry my hair is. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Naya's Organic. I know the producer personally, or the formulator, or the owner of the brand personally, and she had taught me that I could just add glycerin to my leave-in conditioners, add a little bit of glycerin to my leave-in conditioners, because I was telling her how dry my hair was. So I will always recommend her products because she has formulated it very well, especially for people whose hair are prone to breakage as a result of their hair being very dry. She gave me the recipe. She was like, add glycerin to it because for our type of hair, it is so dry that the regular glycerin that they are putting in most products that we are getting is simply not enough for our type of hair. If we stick to the regular products that we're getting without adding extra glycerin, we're probably not going to go more than a day, if you are lucky 2 days, without needing to go back in and wash your hair or go back in and re-moisturize your hair. So I discovered glycerin from hair, so I would add it, and I realized that I could go 2 days, sometimes 3 days, without having to re-moisturize my hair, and I really enjoyed that. But when I realized that if I am going to leave my hair in mini twists or mini braids, I will need to go in and re-moisturize it every 2 or 3 days, and by 1 or at most 1.5 weeks, my scalp will be very frizzy and very fuzzy, and the hair itself will be very frizzy and fuzzy, because the plan was that I was not going to wash it every week. Remember, that was already a recipe for tangles and disaster. So I was like, how can I ensure that I give my hair the moisture it needs, the re-moisturization it needs, but still have a neat scalp or like neat set of braids? Because remember, in the natural hair community, all we cared about is having a sleek or having a neat look. Now we are talking about that subject. Does our hair really need to be laid down? Does our hair really need to be sleek? Does our hair really need to be like very smooth? Not necessarily, because that's not how our natural hair behaves. If our natural hair 24/7 needs moisture, and moisture oftentimes makes it a bit frizzy, if not a lot frizzy, then should our hair always be laid down or look neat? Shouldn't our hair's natural state always be somewhat frizzy? That's a topic that people are addressing, and I too will address this topic in a different video in depth. But for now, I wanted to bring her up because she told me about this whole glycerin thing and re-moisturizing, and with that, I was able to achieve like 3 days, sometimes 2 days, sometimes 3 days, sometimes even 4 days if I am lucky, with my hair being moisturized. But I still needed to go in after a couple days to still re-moisturize my hair. And how could I still keep my braids neat, especially at my scalp and the braid or the strands itself? I was like, if I do mini braids and mini twists, it is too much on my hair that I am not going to go in and re-braid it every time I moisturize it, and that is too much manipulation. But if I do bigger twists and bigger braids, maybe, just maybe, at the end of every week, I could go in after I moisturize my hair, or after every 4 or 3 days, I could go in. After all, it's just 9 braids on my scalp. I could go in and take it out and re-braid it so that it will be smoother, so that it will lay flat there, so that it will be better. That's when the whole idea of jumbo braids came back to me. I was like, I watched this person's video and she said she prefers jumbo braids and jumbo twist. Let me come back to jumbo braids. At that point, I had also already figured out that mini braids or braids altogether retained moisture longer than twist. So I was already in favor of braids because I was all for anything that would keep my hair moisturized and prevent me from spending much time or putting my hands in my hair consistently or often. So I was already in favor of braids. And when I discovered that if I did jumbo braids, then I'll be able to go in and moisturize my hair, and still it's so little, like it's only 9 braids on my hair. It's not like it's 20 braids or like 30 braids on my hair. It's only 9 braids. And if it's only 9 braids, then I will go in and take out my hair after I moisturize it and re-braid it, and I'll be perfectly fine. that is when I discovered jumbo braids and started doing jumbo braids. But when I first started, my hair was not long enough, so I had to do 12 braids. I started with 12 braids. I had 6 here and 6 here, altogether 12 braids. And I prefer that because I could go in, re-moisturize my hair and scalp every 3 to 4 days and braid it back out. And then I started doing more research. If glycerin was something I was missing from my ingredients, I needed more of it, and that allowed me to have 2, sometimes 3 days of moisturized hair. Is there something else that I'm missing that would allow me to go up to a week, sometimes even 2 weeks, without having to re-moisturize my hair, without having to re-braid my hair? And that is when I discovered the routine that I currently do on my channel with the Camille Rose Honey Hydrate, with the grease. I discovered grease, with the heavy butters, with the heavy humectants. It's also a different channel. I think her channel is called Coily Diaries. I also discovered her channel as well, and she talked about aloe vera juice and glycerin, or water and glycerin, but she also talked about mixing glycerin with some type of water or liquid of your choice. That was the ding for me. The panthenol, I discovered that separately, and that whole idea, that was not from anybody, but I discovered that separately. So that was very interesting to me, and I started using that remedy that I currently do, or that routine that I currently do for my hair, and I realized that with all these combined, I could go up to 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. I've even been able to go a whole month. When I went to Ghana, it's only the remedies that I put in my hair that I put in my hair, and I was there for 3 weeks, and my hair still remained somewhat soft. Of course, it was dry because I added mousse to it, but it still remained somewhat soft, and I was able to come back with my hair being somewhat soft. It was dry, but somewhat soft, right? So I discovered all these routines, and I realized that the best thing that helped my hair at that time was jumbo braids. Why do I like jumbo braids? In my current state, because my hair is longer, I am able to do 9 braids. There was even a time where I was only doing like 6 braids altogether. So I had 3 at this section and 3 at this section, and that was perfectly fine for my hair. But whenever I would wear a braid out after I am done wearing that protective style, I will have a long gap in my hair. It would be very hard for me to blend my hair together and wear it to church. So after that, I decided at the end of my braid protective style, I am going to wear a braid out. So I have to do the section or part it in a way where when I take out the braids, it will still look beautiful and there wouldn't be any gaps or lines in my hair. And I discovered that if I did 4 here, because of the style I would be wearing it, 3 in the middle and 2 at the back, then it will be able to fully cover my hair when I loosen the braid or when I wear a braid out. And that is how I settled on 9 braids on my hair, because I am going to wear a braid out and I don't want it to be too loose, nor am I going to wear like mini braids or even medium braids. And I discovered that when I take out my braids, my curls are there. I do see like braid out curls. But then when it's time for me to go in and detangle my hair, I am not dealing with tangles and just like crazy things coming out of my hair. I am dealing with hair that I can easily, if I wanted to, remove tangles with my fingers. That's what I'm dealing with. I am not dealing with a lot of tangles. I am not spending much time. I am not spending much effort whatsoever. I do have a hair care guide released, and in that hair care guide, I talk about how it is just so simple and so fast for me to detangle my hair in its jumbo braids, because all I'm doing is just taking out 9 braids and detangling it. It's so easy for me to remove the shed hair. But when you have mini braids and mini twists, I remember the struggle I used to go through. Not only do you have to detangle and add water and add oil and then go in with your African pride people, and even after all of that, your hair will still be tangled and you still have to detangle it again with some type of conditioner or some type of slip. It was just so much, and I genuinely really didn't appreciate it. But when I discovered jumbo braids, and as my hair got longer, a lot longer with it, because I was also tying at the back of my hair. I also forgot to mention, I did 12 braids because my hair was not long enough for me to do like 4 or like 5 braids or 9 braids for me to even tie it at the back. It wouldn't work out. It was just so big and so short that it wouldn't work out. So I had to do smaller sections. In order to get enough hair to tie it at the back. I had to do smaller sections, but now that my hair has gotten longer, I can do bigger sections and I'm able to tie it to the back of my hair. The idea is that it is not so many braids on my hair that I feel like I could unravel it and re-braid it, and then it is not time consuming. If I am done washing my hair, I just sit there and braid it. I also do not do perfect partings, and that is what this channel is about. This channel is for people who really would like to grow their hair and wear their hair in the most minimal effort style possible as much as they can. Because when you search out various natural hairstyle or various ways to style your natural hair, and this is the reason why on TikTok I share my church hairstyles. When you search out various natural hairstyle, what I will often find is people gelling their hair or comb rolling it, and this time I'm like, that is so much manipulation. You are manipulating your hair so much, and that is not something I want to do. I do not want to gel down my hair, half it down, braid it here, put rubber bands here, do this. It's cute, it's very beautiful, but for someone like me, I just want to do a very basic hairstyle, nice looking, but very basic, no gel. If I want to add gel to my hair, I will add gel to my hair. But could I rock my hair in a hairstyle in a loose state without me adding gel to it, without me actively comb rolling it, without me doing some type of manipulation to it, just to get it to sleek down or just to get it to be presentable or get it to look good? That's what this channel is for. This channel is for people who want to grow their hair to look beautiful but not do too much always to it, because there are going to be times I'm going to gel down my hair, there are going to be times that I'm going to sleek down my hair, but it's not always that I want to do that. So that is how I ended up discovering jumbo braids. I really love jumbo braids. Jumbo twists are okay. I do jumbo twists if I need to. You've probably never seen it on my channel, and you probably barely see it on my channel because I'm always going to go for the jumbo braids because I'm guaranteed that I can go a whole week without touching my hair. Jumbo twists, I've not really tried it, but I'm guaranteed that I can go almost as close to a whole week, if not more, with jumbo twists as well, because it is low effort. It takes a very small amount of time to detangle. It is pain free, and I can rock it in whatever style I want. And I can add a synthetic extension, natural hair extension, to the back of my hair if I want it to be fuller and bigger, because I personally like big hair and I personally like fuller hair. So if I wanted fuller hair, I could always add that to it. And that is why this is a style that I really love and a style that you will always find me wearing on my channel. So that is it for this video. I have more talks and more to share, and I want you guys to stay tuned to it. Thank you to every single person who finished till the end. I do have services I provide, so if you ever need me to provide any service for you, you can check out my website. You can check out my other hair care videos. If this is the first video you are watching, you can watch my other video where I talked about the hairstyle that I would never do to my hair. And if this is released a bit later or released before that one, then that one is coming, so you can stay tuned. I will see you in my next one.